telescope is an extension of its owner that allows us to peer into the universe to see nature on the grandest scale, with wonders that boggle the imagination.
This is Galaxy Log for May of 2023 and it's subtitled Supernova. This May was could have been good, had a lot of potential. Weather-wise, could have been some really crystal clear nights. Problem we had though was the smoke from the forest fires in Canada. Was covered a good part of the Northeast, and it was so bad. Even some of the nights that would have been just spectacular showed only to the naked eye just some of the brighter stars. So it had been worthless to take a telescope to a dark site to look for galaxies. And then one night, where the smoke cleared or seemed cleared, and it was going to be very clear. Just so happens, though, that the moon set wasn't until like 1:35 in the morning. So I wanted to see the supernova, and so I packed up my 4-inch refractor and some eyepieces and headed up to our closest dark site. Supernova is in the big, beautiful galaxy M101. in Ursa Major is where 101 is located, right off the handle of the Big Dipper. Close-up view from Stellarium Web of where 101 is located. Easy star hop. Also can be seen in your in an 8x50 finder scope as a large faint patch. And here's the near view image. Here's the particulars of the galaxy also. It's 7.9 magnitude, so it's very bright, very low surface brightness, though, at 14.9. Very large, it's type, and it's a close by galaxy. For this near view image, I used a 4-inch f7 ED refractor. Eyepiece is a 9mm, gave me 79 magnification. Sky conditions are rated as good. Could have been better. There might have been maybe a little bit of smoke up there. It was kind of hard to tell, but no clouds. And where 101 is located at this dark site, it's probably the darkest part of the sky. So I was able to get a pretty good view of 101 with the 4-inch refractor. Showed a large, bright core area, and then with averted vision, you can start seeing some inner detail of the galaxy, which I thought was interesting. The outer part of the galaxy, it was very hard to see. Maybe from a darker site and a better night, I could have seen more outer structure, but basically this is what I was seeing. And then right here is the supernova. At this time, it was about 10.8. Stood out very well in the 4-inch refractor, no problem whatsoever. And was also able to view it through a friend's 22-inch Dob, which showed really nice detail, of course, in the galaxy. And the supernova was just vividly bright. It was a tremendous view. Here's a beautiful photograph taken by Bill Creed of the supernova. And you can see a bit has that bluish tint. And we were seeing that in the big Dob, in the 22-inch Dob. You could actually see a little bit of color, which was interesting. And like I said, a lot of structural detail in the galaxy itself. But yeah, this was quite spectacular to view in the larger scope. But like I said, the 4-inch refractor did a pretty good job, and was glad to see something this May. And then with this short night, because I spent a lot of time viewing M101 and supernova. So I had a final view of the night before I packed everything up, which was NGC 6503. And that's a favorite galaxy. It's also, I did it with the 9mm eyepiece, which gave a great view. This field star right here has a slight goldish tint to it, which could be seen in larger telescopes. That color stands out much better. The galaxy is a nice elongated um, disk and a brighter inner region and a very faint stellar nucleus that was seen in the 4-inch refractor. It was actually a really good view in this telescope. Here again, in this part of the sky at this dark side, it's pretty darn good. So I was able to get a pretty nice view. But I also have up here, I say future first light question mark. So it seems like my the 20-inch telescope Dob that I ordered a while back is coming to fruition, and hopefully we'll be getting it very soon. And for first light, I decided that this galaxy would be a good one to do. One, it's a really nice galaxy. Two, I like the goldish star, which, like I said, in larger apertures, the color really stands out well. So between that and the galaxy, and when I do first light with a telescope, I usually choose something that's good, but not the best, because you want, as the night goes on, you want to see, better and better views and so on, more galaxies, whatever, that show more detail and more spectacular. I did the same thing in 1998 with the 22-inch Dob, where the first light, where I had a huge amount of galaxies to choose. It was actually NGC 2841, which is a great galaxy, a spectacular galaxy. But I could have done like, M51 or 101 or M81, M82 or whatever. But no, I decided that as the night went on, it better and better objects to view. So I think this might be first light for the new 20-inch scope when it comes in. Okay, since this galaxy log is pretty much about M101 and the supernova, because of the short night and the lack of good nights because of the smoke that I had in May, I figured I'd do the rest of the video talking about some galaxies for this upcoming summer season, and possibly doing for Galaxy Log. So I'll go through some of the constellations here in the summer and some of the galaxies within those boundaries of the constellation. And most of them I've seen before. I have not used for Galaxy Log. I did have a lot of notes, but I had a computer crash about 5-6 years ago that I lost a lot of them. So I thought these would be some really good galaxies to look at again with various size telescopes. And that's the one thing you'll notice too on each image. I have some suggestions to myself of what possible telescopes I could use, minimum requirements pretty much, to actually see any of these galaxies, and go from there. First of all, let's talk about the telescopes. This is my current lineup of what I'm using now. Here on the left top corner is the newest telescope, and this is the scope that I used for M101 and Supernova, and that last view, of course, of 6503. It's like I said, it's my newest telescope, the Astrotech 4-inch f7 ED refractor. Really nice optics. I'm real pleased with this telescope. It's nice and compact, really high quality optics. I use it on a Explore Scientific Twilight 1 mount. Next to that is the Skywatcher 4 12.7-inch f7.5 ED, which is a really nice mid-size or a little bit larger, tall, refractor. You can kind of say in the refractor realm, kind of 4 inches, getting a little bit larger. So the 4.7 is a good size scope. The one thing I did do is I changed the focuser on this one, and I really enjoy using this telescope. It's on the photograph there. It's on an advanced series Celestron Go-To mount. They work really well together. And then on the top far right is the GSO 6-inch f5 Newt, and that's also on that Twilight 1 mount. Really good optics. This is actually my wife's scope, and she really enjoys it. I just did a Galaxy log in April. This scope was involved in it. Really for the money like that, it's a good quality scope. In the lower left here is the Bresser 8.2-inch f3.9 that was made into a Dob. Here again, for the money, it's a really nice scope. It's a little bit oversized secondary because it's a hybrid. You can use it for, a lot of people use it for photography, and it does very well for wide field photography. But visually, it doesn't do too bad at all. It's enhanced coatings too, which I think helps a little bit, even though with the oversized secondary. And then in the middle bottom here is my current largest scope that I use in the field, which is the Orion Optics UK 12-inch f4. And I've mentioned in the previous Galaxy log videos how much I really like this telescope. This has become an all-time favorite when it comes to both aperture, compactness, easy to set up, easy to collimate, and of course the optical quality is outstanding in this telescope. And as you can see in the photograph also, which is nice, you can actually sit and observe using this telescope. I really like this telescope. In the bottom right, it says coming soon, which is a Wait Renegade 20-inch f3.3. So hopefully that's going to be coming in soon, and I can get first light, as I talked about in the Galaxy log with 6503. So yeah, it's kind of exciting. Okay, first constellation is Lira, and this is NGC 5729. Shows a magnitude of 12.6. Surface brightness isn't too bad, but I think for me to get a decent view of this galaxy, the minimum is going to be the 8.2-inch Dob. So I could look at it. So it's either going to be the 8.2, could be the 12, or even the 20 if the 20 comes in. But I think for minimum for me to get a good view for Galaxy log, it's going to be the 8.2-inch Dob. Next is a pair of Galaxies, NGC 5858 and NGC 5861. Here again for minimal is the 4.7 refractor, and that's more for 5861 and also the 6-inch reflector. And I think for minimal for the 5858 would be the 8.2, but more probably the 12 to get a good view of both these galaxies. Then we'll go into Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus, of course, has a lot of great globulars if you're into globulars. And a fascinating galaxy is 6240. And I actually observed this years ago up at Cherry Springs State Park with the 8-inch refractor I sold back in 2019, and I actually had a pretty good view of it. I have here for my minimum though to get a good view, it's going to be the 12-inch Dob, which is funny because when I sold the 8-inch refractor, I replaced the Orion. I replaced it with the Orion Optics 12-inch Dob. So I think to get a really good view of and some detail of this, the 12-inch Dob would be the minimum. And then in the Serpents, which also has some really nice galaxies. Here's ARP 91, which consists of 59 NGC 5953, 12.1 mag, and 5954 at 12.2 mag. And I have for minimum both these galaxies is the 4.7 refractor or the 6-inch reflector. To get a little more out of it, I think the 8.2-inch Dob might be a little bit, of course, better. But I think for detail, to actually see some really nice detail, it's going to be the 12-inch or the 20-inch Dob. The faint edge-on galaxy down here, and I'm not even sure if that's going to be visible with the 20. Next is 5962, which is a fairly bright galaxy, 11.3 magnitude. And I have, for the minimum, would be that 4-inch refractor. I think the 4-inch refractor will give it a decent view, or the 6-inch reflector. So, yeah, it's a tightly wound spiral galaxy, and has a fairly high surface brightness. So I think the smaller telescopes should give it a decent view. We go into Hercules, and this is Abell 2199, and it's led by the giant galaxy NGC 6166, which has a fairly decent magnitude, 11.8, and a fairly good high surface brightness. So I think the minimum, just to see this, would be a good challenge, will be for the 4.7 refractor or the 6-inch reflector. But for the fainter other members that you see in the field, which are actual members of this galaxy cluster, it's going to take the 12-inch or the 20-inch Dob. They range from 14th magnitude and fainter. So that'll require, of course, much larger telescope than the refractor or the smaller reflector. So it'll be interesting. This will be one I really will definitely go for if I can get the 20-inch Dob in here soon. Then we go to Lira, and really in a nice rich field of stars, which kind of sometimes I know it hinders some galaxies, getting into the richness of the Milky Way. But this one seems interesting to view, and should give a really nice all-around artistic view with all the stars in the field. And it's fairly bright, 12.1 mag, so I'm thinking the 8.2-inch Dob would be the minimum to see this. And then into a favorite constellation of the summer, it's Draco. And nice bright spiral galaxy, NGC 5678, has 11.3 magnitude. So I'm looking at either the refractors, either the 4-inch or the 4.7 or the 6-inch reflector as minimum to view this nice galaxy. And then the Draco trio, which I always liked. I've seen this in many telescopes. The 8-inch refractor actually gave it a really nice view of all three galaxies. But for this, for the two brighter galaxies, the beautiful spiral 5985 and the elliptical 5982, I could do it with the 4-inch refractor or the 4.7 refractor or the 6-inch reflector. But to get the dimmer edge on 5981, which is 13th mag, I'll probably need the larger 8.2-inch Dob. So that'll be. But I haven't done this for Galaxy Log, and I should have. And it's really a neat view. under dark skies and quality telescope. Also in Draco, we have ARP 293, which consists of NGC 6285 at 13.5 magnitude and NGC 6286 at 13.3 magnitude. There's also a faint, very faint, very thin Edge-on galaxy to the south, UGC 10641 at 16th magnitude. So as far as observing, I'm thinking that more the 12-inch Dob for NGC 6285 and 6286, and as far as be able to get the very thin, faint Edge-on galaxy would require my upcoming 20-inch. But it'd be really neat to view all three galaxies in the 20-inch. So hopefully the scope comes in, I'll have a good clear night to get this trio of galaxies. But if not, I'll at least go for the two brighter galaxies, the ARP with the 12-inch Dob, which should have no problem from a good night and a dark site observing. And then Ursa Minor. Ursa Minor has not a whole lot of bright galaxies. I did one that was NGC 6217, which is a nice galaxy, but it doesn't have a whole lot of bright galaxies. Here's a pair that I want to go for. It's NGC 6068 at 12.8 magnitude, and its fainter galaxy NGC 6068A at 14th magnitude. And here again for minimum, it's going to be the 12-inch Dob, but I think I can probably I think on a really good night, 6068A should come up with the 12-inch Dob. So I'll probably be able to get both. But definitely with the 20-inch Dob, should have no problem seeing 6068A. Okay, this is the summary of this galaxy log and the dark site that I kind of use most often. It's close by. It's about 35-minute drive north of me. It's pretty decent sky on a good night. As I said, I rated it as good, not very good or excellent, but good that night. And there could have been a little bit still remaining smoke in the sky, but definitely it was far better than some other May nights that would have been spectacular, but the smoke from the distant forest fires in Canada killed that. Nighttime view from Google Earth of the area, right as a border foresight. And here's me and the telescope. That's the Astrotech 4-inch f70D refractor on an Explore Scientific Twilight 1 mount. Nice combination. It was nice, because it was a short night, and this is my grab and go scope, so it was just perfect for that night. And like I said, it gave some a really nice view of M101 and the supernova, and some other objects I was viewing, and of course the last view of the night with NGC 6503 and Draco. As far as the eyepiece, for both M101 and the supernova and NGC 6503, it's a Celestron XL LX 9mm. Good eyepieces. I just didn't want to break out all the, pack up all the bigger eyepiece cases, with the more expensive design that I have. So I just grabbed the smaller case, which has my Celestron XLs and LXs, and they really are a good eyepiece, a good buy in astronomy. So that's it for this galaxy log. clear dark skies, and happy galaxy observing.